Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I feel like people lost their shit over Ultra Ego for no reason. Oh, stupid name. Like, what else are you gonna call it? They're like,
Maybe.
I think they wanted. What was it they wanted to call it? Like, it wasn't like Ultra. It was like Mega something like that. And I'm like, you just make it sound worse. And like Goku just
How
still
would you
sounds
make it
better.
sound worse? Dude, this shit's already
They,
ass.
they didn't want to use Ultra, even though Ultra's like probably the highest level they could have called something.
Yeah.
And so like, "Oh, we want Vegeta to be his own thing. Call it Mega." And then it just all it does is put in your mind that Goku's still better because he got the Ultra title. Not to mention they got all up in arms about ego, even though that's exactly the point of like what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's named
Vegeta is the
aptly.
king of ego, by the way, just so we're clear on that.
Oh yeah, of course, it fits in perfectly. I'm still upset
Yeah.
that like Gohan wasn't some sort of ultra something. Like
Yeah.
ultra anger would have been cool. I mean,
Beast
that's a
is
bit.
like, it's alright. It's a
Beast
little
is.
on the fucking nose,
It's
but
yeah, it's a bit on the nose. That's what I was thinking. Like Ultra Anger's a bit on the nose too, and sounds a bit off like Ultra Ego did. But it's like something you could settle into. Cause like
yeah.
it'd be cool if they went down each of their own paths to the pinnacle of their path, and that's what the Ultra sort of thing means. You know,
Hmm.
there's like Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego. Like it'd be cool if there was more because like Ultra Instinct is like id, and I think Ego's ego, which are like their own separate things.
Yeah, and I think that a potential thing that they could have done as well is they could have just not given Gohan's former name.
Yeah, and just let it sit for a
They
bit.
could just still call him Ultimate Gohan or Adult Gohan.
Yeah,
Yo,
true. I
one second.
still, I still, oh,
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
yeah, they could have gone for like the no name thing, but I think it would have been cooler if they kept like the structure and then gone like, these are the reasons they named this because they found their own path and it relates directly to this pillar of whatever this thing is.
Yeah,
Like like instinct and ego are their own
yeah,
pillars of certain things. I mean, I don't know where that would go. Like if Broly got like his own thing as well. Um, I mean, I think Legendary Super Saiyan is enough,
yeah.
to be quite frank.
You know what's funny? His form actually isn't even called Legendary Super Saiyan. It's officially Super Saiyan.
Well, it technically is Super Saiyan, but we all know it's
We
the
all know.
legendary the
We all know it's
legendary form.
legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
We
legendary Super Saiyan form, and
those from
that's
before Dragon Ball Super. No.
that's pretty much enough, I'd say. But like,
Yeah.
if they wanted to give him his own thing, like, I mean, again, it's all weird sounding names, but I mean, Ultra Rage. I mean, it's a kind
Yeah.
of a step above anger, but would that fit the same bubble as anger? Could Gohan fit Ultra Rage? Because that's how, I mean, he's a protector, but when he loses his shit, that's when all the power comes out.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's like, his old Jazz was fucking potential unleashed. They could have just made Gohan max potential unleashed or like something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
To me, it looks like he goes Super Saiyan 2, so it's like he transcended his ultimate form.
yeah,
Ultimate
He did the
Form
Cell
2.
Saga, but it was ultimate form that transcended.
Yeah, it's interesting cuz the thing is that whatever mystical form he took, it's still a form of the gods. So that's why I
yeah,
think it could still tie to the whole ultra symbology
yeah. So,
because
I think it was Seth the programmer did like um some scaling stuff, and I'm pretty sure he's like he may almost be as strong as Black Frieza. We don't know for a fact. I'm
That
pretty
could be
sure.
wild because then it would mean he's the one that like they have to get help from. They try and fight Frieza and then they went, now what? They think they're screwed and then they just find out that Gohan's been chilling on Earth with the strongest power.
Yeah.
And they have to go to him for help instead of like getting Goku or whatever.
Dude, you know, it'd be so fucking funny if like the events of how they made that everyone fucking made the wish. Yo, I want to be the strongest universe. What the fuck, right?
Yeah,
Imagine that happened before he unlocked it, and then he unlocked it right after.
yeah,
So technically, none of them were actually stronger than him.
yeah.
None of them
Gohan
actually.
is like insane, man. Fuck it.
He's a
It'd be,
doozy.
it'd be funny if Gohan became like got his power up before no, after Frieza got back, so then he could be the strongest on technicality over Frieza. So Frieza's like, I'm the strongest because I wasn't here by technicalities, but then Gohan then after he returns gets stronger. It's like, oh, how are you the strongest? Oh, what's another thing? Oh yeah, it's another thing as well because I mean, even like the Orange Piccolo form could in some ways tie to what could be an Ultra form because it's all, again, all their recent power ups have been godly power ups. I mean, if you look at it, like Ultra Instinct, Angels, uh, Ultra Ego, Gods of Destruction, Gohan Beast. If that's an extension of whatever his mystical powers was, that's like powers of the Kai. And then Piccolo has has powers granted him by Namekian God Dragon. You know?
Yeah.
Like they've all like all the biggest characters now have powers of the gods, more or less. And I mean, Broly is basically a god himself because he's the legendary Super Saiyan prophesized by all Saiyans.
Yeah.
Though that's
What the
technically
fuck?
not
Is that
god
Sevagoth?
status.
What's going on here?
What?
I'm looking at the call of the Temple Story, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Whoa.
But what do you think about that? How basically all the powers have come from godly sources in one way or another, but they're all
Mm.
still on their own path.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like, I think it's Pog, but it's a little too up there, in my opinion. Like, I think it's sick,
I mean, that's
but like the thing about like the whole thing with Saiyans and all that hullabaloo is that they're always gonna evolve,
mhm,
and that's the whole point of the Saiyans,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
I just wish it was like dumbed down a bit. Like recently, I've been reading like this fan made manga, right? And it's this Dragon Ball fan made manga, and it's like it instead of going like after the world tournament, the tournament of power, was it? Yeah. After the tournament of power, it didn't what am I trying to say? It didn't go like against like the whole. I literally don't know what I'm trying to say,
Unlucky, bro.
but it's like I'm not a fan of how like, because where do we go from here? What, they're just gonna get stronger than Beerus, and then like all the main characters are gonna eventually be strong enough to like solo Beerus, and like
It's probably gonna keep going like that. But I mean, if they really want it to keep going, they'll probably start investing in the characters that are down lower on the spectrum. Eventually,
I
they'll get
think
to the
best
point where
is-
they'll have to move past Goku and Vegeta, or else there will be physically nothing
that's
that
what
they
I'm
could beat.
thinking, bro. I think
Like,
there's just because the thing is, right? It's there is what am I looking to say? There's like a ceiling for like the current stuff that there is, right?
Yeah.
The ceiling is Zeno, right? Once you're able to one shot Zeno before he can react, and
Zeno will
clap you-
delete you
yeah.
first.
Yeah. Once it gets to the point that can happen, like it depends what possible like threats they have to start dealing with. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So we'll see what happens, I guess. But at least right now, I don't have too much hope for the future of fucking like, because at least I'm thinking in the far future, like what happens? Because the thing is, at least they've already said before in statements and all that stuff. I think I think the strongest. I think it was the strongest battle in history was between Blue Vegito and Thing. I think there was recently a guidebook that stated that the strongest battle in history was between Blue Vegito and Thing.
Fuse
And
the Master.
Zamasu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense because one was basically fourth dimensional and one was the strongest fusion of all time.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
I'm
like-
still mad that they've destroyed Vegito into a time limit.
Yeah, that's
That's still my least favorite thing because as far as we can tell, Gogeta doesn't seem to have that, even though he probably beat Broly up in less than a minute, if we're real about it.
Overwatch 2 is free, but I still feel scammed.
Well, what do you think? Do you reckon Broly if Gogeta beat up Broly in less than a minute, and that's why he didn't just go poof into nothing, or do you reckon he actually has that that full limit time?
what Gogeta?
Yeah, Gogeta.
Yeah, he definitely has the 30 minutes.
Why do you say
He,
that?
we know for a fact because I think I don't know who said it, but I think Frieza was fighting Broly for an hour, and that's because
Yeah.
they failed the fusion once or whatever, or twice.
They found it. They found it twice.
No, I know he has the 30 minutes, but I'm talking about when he's fighting
Oh,
at full
sorry.
power.
What, Gogeta?
Yes, Gogeta fighting at full power.
He's asking if it drains the same as like Vegito drains.
Yes.
A whole bullshit.
No,
leading up
I
into
don't
it.
think so.
Because we don't know if he curbed Broly in under a minute or if he spent more time because realistically he probably curbed Broly in less than a minute, but because of animation and seeing everything in our eyes it took
Yeah.
longer for it to actually happen. So
Yeah.
there's no definitive thing. But it would just be disappointing if they just took all that away from Vegito to go, oh yeah, they first they retcon the whole infinite thing, oh yeah, God Zone, which is fine, but then they immediately go, that hour that we told you about doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, you have an hour. No, you don't. And that was probably the thing that bugged me the most. Rather than saying something as simple as, oh, the amount of time is based on how much energy you use. If they said that up front, it would have been oh, that makes sense.
The thing for me,
But just
felt
pulling it
like
out from under your rug sucks.
This isn't the case, I'm almost sure, but for me, when I was watching it the first time, the feelings that I got when watching that was that, oh, they probably just didn't have enough budget for the fight, so they wanted to end it quick. That's literally what I thought.
Yeah, and
I
they
thought
could
that,
have
they were long
definitely
budget,
come.
so they just made that up on the spot. and
Yeah, they
maybe
could have
would've
definitely
been
come up with a
worth
better excuse.
Thing is, the thing
Invite.
is, right? Vegito.
Invite.
I'm in the middle. Sorry.
You're
I'm
not
so
you,
sorry.
James.
I started something because I
well,
joined you
as
for
I was
ages and you
saying-
never did anything.
Yeah, the fucking Vegito thing. It was just the stupidest decision ever
Yeah,
to have that as a thing. Because the thing is, right? One, Vegito's a fan favorite,
Mhm.
right? Obviously, he's a fusion. Everyone loves fusions.
Mhm.
And just giving him less time isn't good in any capacity storytelling wise.
No,
Yeah,
if
no one-
anything,
that's not fun for anyone.
if anything, they've completely and utterly written Vegito out of everything. There is
And
no
the
way.
thing is, right?
There is no
and
way
that-
logically you'd fuse into Vegito if you only had 30 seconds to fight at max capacity.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Max capacity.
And the thing is, also it doesn't even help how there's some fucking Gogeta super fans that are
Yeah.
nah bro, Gogeta beat Vegito, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't help their case neither. Because Vegito can one shot Gogeta. Mathematically he can one shot Gogeta.
Yeah.
Literally crunch the numbers, because there's no statements that say the only statement we have on how the fucking what's the word I'm looking for?
The scaling.
How the scaling works with the power increase you get from fusing is Vegito, right? The Patara earrings is times one power by the other power, right? So fucking Goku,
Difference, basically.
yeah, it's fucking they times by each other's amount.
And
so,
apparently their IQ also fuses.
Yeah,
I know it.
IQ increases. They become super genius.
Become the ultimate warrior. That was the whole point.
Dude, you know,
Yeah.
you just know there are people out there going, Vegito's IQ's still worse because 0 multiplied by 100 still 0.
To them, I tip my hat and say good one.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's how. I still am perplexed with how some people think that like Vegito is just like egotistical and cocky for no reason at all. They don't see any.
It's because of
Yeah.
Vegeta. It's because of Vegeta, bro.
It's not even.
but
That's not even the
If you like
reason.
watch the like old-fashioned like Bruhan fight, you would know.
Dude,
If you-
yeah, if you know, you know.
Now you know, nigga.
I don't know. Like I never
Oh,
thought.
he's still
like,
here? Oh, it's Cash.
Maybe when I first saw Vegito and like saw him fighting Bruhan before he did like I saw any of the what he was planning to do. Maybe at first I thought, wow, this guy's pretty cocky, but he's still pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that.
Like
Yeah.
then I realized, oh shit, that was pretty smart. Like he tricked Boo and then he went inside him to try and free everyone and shit. And I
Yeah.
could be wrong about
Yeah.
this. But I'm pretty sure he didn't know that whatchamacallit was still alive. Like to be able to like actually use the Dragonball. So that was like at the time the smartest decision to make to save
Yeah.
as many people as you can.
Like everybody in
Yeah.
hindsight goes, you could have done all these things, but in reality, that's
it's
not
like
how it
you
was.
could be the smartest man in the world, but it all depends on what information you have. You can't just know things automatically.
Yeah,
because your IQ is so high that, oh
this-
shit, I know something that's meant to be impossible for me to know. It just entered my brain. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
not how being smart works.
Yeah,
You use what
exactly.
Yeah.
you have against
You
the
can't
enemy.
metagame, bro. It's illegal.
Exactly, it's literally metagaming. That's exactly what Ennis said.
Yeah,
Correct.
metagaming.
Yeah. It is what it is. I just hope that like they just
Oh,
fix.
well, there's a thumper.
They either fix the
Yeah, just
fusions.
ignore it.
They either fix the fusions or never fuse again and just make Gotenks the fusion. dude.
Honestly, I think what they should do is they should like, they should still try and utilize Vegito, because as far as we're aware, Gogeta doesn't have this problem, because it's not, there's nothing that shows that he will lose, like he can't go full power, because all we've seen is him go full power, win, and then defuse like later.
Even then, like, he still wasn't there to say, hey, Frieza, no. Like, he was there for a while. Like, even after going all out, like... I feel
Yeah.
like Metamorph Fusion, the way they at least made it, is that it just doesn't drain as much when going all out. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that makes me sad.
I think
Is
it
that,
doesn't drain.
yeah, I feel like it
Doesn't
doesn't drain
have
at
it.
all. Cause you
Yeah, which I would have thought, like, realistically, would be the other way around, since one is a godly fusion and one is a technique that was
Yeah.
developed by a mortal race.
But
But it is what
to
it
imitate
is.
the gods.
I mean, that makes
I
it
don't
even
think
worse
any
in my
gods have
opinion.
ever
But
known one.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Gogeta is cooler though.
Gogeta is no, I don't dispute. The Vegeta is fucking cool, and the Metamoran jacket like sells it, you know.
the jacket sells
Yeah.
that shit, dude.
But Vegito's always been my favorite, and it just is disappointing that it feels like realistically I can look at it and go, if you had to pick between the two, like Gogeta is always the option you're gonna pick, like judged on how everything's gone, and I don't think that should be the case. I feel like unless they specifically fuse into Vegito for intelligence, like I don't know if they're gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Unless they literally receive a riddle, there's no point for them ever doing that.
Yeah.
They're like, there's just a riddle. It's like,
Riddle.
what should we do, guys?
Unless they just like retcon like the whole thing and give some other reason, like, or like not the same way, like it was an abnormal amount of power being used because you're fighting fused Zamasu who had energy leech or some shit like that.
Energy.
You know what I mean? Like
Ah.
some abstract scenario that made it so that they lost their power quicker. So like
I mean-
maybe they become Vegito as a last resort or something like that because they need to do it in a pinch. And then they realize they can use a bit more energy than last time. And it still runs out, and like maybe they still have a time limit, because I think that makes sense
The way
in
that
some
I cope-
ways.
the-
But
this is me
I think
coping, right?
30,
You-
like however long that was is ridiculous. Anyway, go on, Brad.
It's definitely me coping, right? Because I love Vegito too, and I hate how they did him there. But like the way I cope is, hey, he was fighting someone who ended up needing to be deleted by Zeno. So it's like,
Yeah,
like,
and
you know,
winning.
not much could have been done about it, I guess, right? Like maybe he just was unstoppable. And
I
maybe he
mean,
didn't know anyway.
I feel.
The way I see it is Vegito's so powerful that any enemy he can't beat would probably need to be deleted by Zeno.
Yeah. Honestly, now that you say that, like, I just thought of a way they could use Vegito again. Vegito had to use an abnormal amount of power to even compete against Fuse Zamasu, that him fighting at normal capacity won't use as much power as he used then.
I like
That
it.
he had to use like 200% to fight like a
We're looking for the
being.
book of excuses so that he can come out and say.
I
he's
agree.
actually
I'm
usable.
like,
I love
I've got
him.
the
I love
book and
him
I'm reading
and Goju.
every
I like
single
them both.
excuse.
I
Yeah.
like both of them. I don't want either of... Dude, like, I wouldn't want this for anyone in Dragon Ball. So
No, imagine if they fucking went
Just
around
have
with
the same
Gogeta and went, yeah,
well.
guess what? He also
Dude,
has
what
a
if they
time
happened
limit.
to
I'd be just as
Krillin?
mad.
And what if Krillin was just
Imagine
tired
Krillin-
all the time?
Literally. I mean, it's too late.
Hey, I brought the rest of the fighters, and then Krillin.
And Krillin. The Thumper's still
Yo.
fucking following us, man. Followed
I
us
feel
the
bad for you
whole
guys.
way.
I'm fucking having a chat with Sevagoth right now.
Where are the units? Where are the units?
He is the unit.
Why were you just focusing on him? There were units around him, and now our thing's up. Oh, we've messed out our 50% control.
Was he
That's
a
it's
nuke?
because
What
of the
happened?
thumper.
No,
How
it's
did
not.
Sevagoth turn into a bomb?
It turned into a bomb.
But yeah, no. I look at it this way. If they went around and said that Gogeta also has a time limit, I'll bring out like my second books of excuses, the Book of Excuses Volume 2,
Yeah.
because it's just there's not a fun way to just delete a strong character. Because everyone basically goes, why do they just not use these characters all the time? And I think that's the biggest problem with how they've done Gogeta, in my opinion. Because I'm pretty sure before it was just like more additive and like than multiplicative in the same way Vegito was. Like the fusion, the resulting power was not as much, basically.
Yeah.
But now, like in the Broly movie, I'm pretty sure he said it's both of our powers put together multiplied by a huge number or whatever. And now it's
Yeah,
like,
this
now
is
it's
the
like,
exact
why
quote.
don't go?
Well, okay.
The exact quote was literally, I have the power of Goku and Vegeta combined, and then some. That's his exact quote.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and it's
I
like,
feel honestly, like, he said significantly magnified, right? What would you consider that? Like, would you
multiplicative.
consider that just a ×2 buff? Like twice as strong?
Significantly magnified, I'd consider multiplicative and not any way additive. Which is, I always thought that it was like,
Well, from what I heard, the Gogeta fusion was them added together and then just times by 2, so it was like a ×4.
yeah, though, I mean, I've always heard it was like added together and then multiplied, but I always thought that Vegito's was multiplied and then multiplied. You know what I mean? Like Vegeta was
Vegito
on
is
another
that.
level.
Vegeta
But-
is just multiplied by one another. So Goku, let's say Goku was 500,
Yeah.
and Vegeta was 400. There would be 500 times 400. That's what Vegeta
Yeah.
would be.
And now
Vegeta would be 500, would be like 900 combined, and then times 2, so 1800.
Yeah.
So like, if you wanted to do the maths, it's not hard to do. Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
500,
There is the same-
500
and-
times 400, right? Is
Yeah.
what is that? That's big number. I'm just gonna search up mine as well. Can't be asked.
So are you
Lots.
doing this for the isoplast?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And
I need
on
40.
top of that, the same multiplication goes to their IQ
Alright.
as well.
200,000, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Vegito would be 200,000 in this scenario. Gogeta would be, it's just fucking 1800. 1800.
300,000.
Yeah, and-
their
Yeah.
IQ also used as well, apparently.
Yeah, and now it just feels like, oh, why don't we ever just always fuse into Gogeta to fix our problems? I mean, I guess they've solved that by having like the ego fighting where like they don't want to fuse with each other because they want to have a proper fight. And you know, I get that, but I mean, when it really comes down to it, like, why would you just have this argument over the fate of something when you have
Oh,
such
James, I
an
think I just
easy
realised
fusion to do in the whenever you have the opportunity to.
Wait, James, I think I just realized something. If we destroy the Thumper, wouldn't we get plus from it as well?
I don't know if we get him from that. We can try killing it and see if we can. Don't start
It's
the
like,
thing yet.
oh, it's already roughly halfway.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Roughly.
To me, it's like the reason they can't be Vegito all the time is because it requires the earrings, which makes sense. Then the reason they don't use Gogeta all the time is because the difference isn't as great where it feels like why don't you pick this all the time?
Just so you know, I just did the maths. You would need more than 100 Gogetas to beat up Vegito.
Yeah. And that's why it was like they didn't do Gogeta all the time because like he's just not quite as strong as potentially having two different strong targets attacking at the same time. You know, divide and conquer. Whereas Vegito, they don't pick him all the time because of the earrings, even though he's supremely powerful. It's like a rare but
That or maybe they don't
extremely
waste
good
Vegito.
option.
Maybe Gogeta's enough a lot of the time. Like,
Well, yeah, exactly. But
And
now,
maybe sometimes they don't have the earrings.
yeah, but now it's
exactly.
literally just why don't you just be Gogeta because he's so strong he can beat up Broly in a minute. Like that's where we're at now, where it's like where you're questioning why they don't do something, and them having a fight over fusing just seems illogical because of the peril that comes out of it, them not doing it.
What's it called? That's just because it's kind of like, that's just the downfall of them having egos. Like, they both have an ego,
I
right?
Yeah, I
They both
get
have
that,
pride.
but
And, like, neither one of them, they're Saiyans, so they're like,
yeah,
they have the whole business where it's like, yo, I want to, like, test my strength against him. Like, I don't give a fuck about I don't care who this Gogeta guy is. If the whole world isn't gonna get destroyed because of this person, we're just gonna let's just throw fists.
yeah,
If we're not gonna guaranteed lose, I'm not fusing.
yeah.
yeah.
But I know, I get that. It's just where there are times where it feels like why aren't you doing this moment?
Yeah.
Why aren't you
Like
doing
it's
And
just
that's
like
always gonna be the case.
unnecessary.
Because the thing is, they don't really always use their logic.
Yeah.
The only one that will ever use their logic is Goku, because they've resigned. No, sorry, not Goku. They've Vegeta. The person that's been resigned to the stupid character is Goku,
Yeah.
right? They just they took away all personality and actual knowledge that he's had in his previous life. They turned him into the Ash Ketchum of Dragon Ball. So he's just gonna be unaging, fucking, rewritable character. Whatever.
Aged wine.
He's gonna do
Unaged
what we
Goku.
want him to do.
He's gonna do exactly fucking whatever the fuck the writers say, and who cares? Because he's Goku. Lol,
Yeah,
we're all
it's
fans.
it
It
just
sucks.
it bugs
It
me
fucking
because it
sucks.
feels like there's just wasted potential for the fusions.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can literally imagine. I just dropped my fucking shards. I can just imagine like the concept of Vegeta coming up, like in Dragon Ball, like, oh, why don't you be Vegito? And like Vegeta,
Turn around!
Vegeta logically going, why would we do that? We'll just run out of time and it will be a waste. And Goku going, oh, he's not that strong. He'll run out of power because that's just what Goku does. Yeah, it's wild. Plus, like they seem like they're making him more irrelevant. I mean, like, are we really gonna get Goku and Gogeta and Vegito getting stronger? Like getting any stronger than they are because is Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct gonna fuse together? I mean,
I'll be real with you, brother. There's just like, I'll be honest, they have to pull some fucking strings. Like, just say some, like, at least for Beerus' sake. Because the thing about Beerus is, he's just getting destroyed. Like, he's gonna get fucked.
yeah.
Like, he's getting fucking mulched, right? So what they have to do is they have to fucking crunch some numbers. What the fuck they have to do? They have to find a way. The thing with the Beerus is like, he's the new floor of like what they're trying to accomplish,
ceiling, you
and
mean?
that's not okay with me. They have to pull some shit
Honestly,
where he's just still somehow strong.
you know what I want? I want the next bad guy to be a god of destruction gone rogue.
Yes, that'll be
That
so
sounds
good.
fucking
no.
wild.
Like a god of destruction from one of the destroyed universes that he survived.
Yeah, that stuff already
For
exists
some
though
reason.
in fan stuff, and it's like the
Oh,
angels
does
and
it?
stuff. Yeah, people
Fuck
have
him
written
then.
stuff like that all the time.
Fuck him.
That's why I
Rogue
think.
Angel then.
That's
Rogue
why I
Angel
think
then.
it'll be
Fuck him.
more. No, Rogue Angel also comes from.
Fuck
other-
the fans, man. Why do they have better ideas than the actual creator?
Yeah, I agree. But I think it would be more satisfying if we just had like gods of destructions or angels and stuff going rogue in a universe we know exists. Like let's say you know the top 5
Yeah.
that didn't participate in the Tournament of Power. I just love for one of them just to be so arrogant and cocky that they want to wipe out Universe 7 because they feel threatened.
Yeah.
Like that
Like
that
Black
just
like what if oh dude, what if Black Frieza takes over like a different universe? That would be a genius idea.
or that, yeah.
Yeah,
He just
Like he just goes somewhere, kills their god of destruction borderline instantly, takes over their universe as their god of destruction. He gets like an even bigger boost, and then he goes to Zeno and goes, I have an idea.
You know-
Remember that tournament you liked so much?
You know the funny thing is
Yeah.
that there's also a fan manga about Vegeta becoming a god of destruction, except it was of Universe 9 when he got the option. And he ended up just becoming like actually good because he was in that position for so long and lived for so many years that he just like was like to Zeno, this is how you make everything better.
Yeah.
And it was like
And
all
killed him.
like ways to destroy things and like get rid of who he wanted to get rid of, but eventually like he just micromanaged everything
Let's
into
see.
like literally ultimate power. Like he essentially became the one leading the universe. He like convinced the GP that like he should be the one instead of the Zenos.
James, did you get anything from that?
Yes, I did, but I don't think it was
What?
what I wanted.
Because I don't think I got any resources.
No, I dropped a ton of resources.
I didn't see any pop up at least.
Yeah, they popped up at the bottom, not at the side.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know. Then I probably did grab a bunch.
Yeah, but I think that's also a cool thing. Like if Frieza just goes and like decimates a universe and takes complete control, like that.
Yeah.
That would be fucking awesome.
Mhm.
And maybe that's the reason why a god of destruction goes rogue, because maybe he doesn't kill a god of destruction. Maybe he just decimates and takes control of a universe, but leaves the god of destruction alive to witness. And then that god of destruction eventually goes rogue once Frieza's defeated, let's say. Then that god of destruction's like, I want revenge. And then they go rogue after that because it's like, Universe 7 is too dangerous, they're too powerful, we need to delete them. Because if Frieza took over and then Frieza was defeated, that's a perfect opportunity to create panic and like this universe shouldn't be alive anymore. And potentially get backing from other universes because of that.
The thing is, like, I know if that happened, I know Beerus could just sit out and do nothing, but I kind of also feel like Beerus usually doesn't have to get involved in shit, but if there's other gods of destruction getting involved in his universe, I think.
Oh
he
yeah,
actually
but
does
I
something
reckon
about that.
I
He could
reckon
be-
that would be cool. That would be a perfect opportunity to get Beerus involved. Like
You know what would be really cool? If Frieza fucking finds a way to like capture Beerus and put him somewhere where he can't get out of, and then he takes over as the god of destruction of Universe 7,
or that,
and then
but
Goku and Vegeta have to fight him often.
I
and all that
think
shit.
like
That'd be cool.
like the whole idea of like some of the strongest universes that we didn't
Yeah.
see because we haven't seen them yet, so they can do whatever they want
Yeah,
with
but
them.
I do agree with you on that
coming
point. But the
coming
thing is,
together,
like,
and then like Beerus has to himself get involved, and let's say like by the time Frieza Black's been defeated for decimating universe, like most of the heroes are close at least to Beerus's power, so Beerus has to be part of it because they're not. Maybe they're not just fighting one god of destruction. Maybe there's more, and there's actually people willing to help, and it's just a larger scale sort of fight. Like almost tournament of power like, but not a tournament, like an actual just universe, like actual universe survival. Like this is a universe war arc.
Universal War.
Well, then you can have like universes like Universe 6 come in and go, no, Universe 7's cool, and then you can get like
Wait.
Cauliflower back and like
I just got an
defending them
idea.
because they like Goku and they like the gang and they think they're cool. And like we shouldn't be getting this, and then you can actually like you can bring all the universes back and like an actual war and then so it doesn't get stopped and people go, why isn't anybody doing anything? Like the Omni King is just sitting there like, this is fun. Let's see who wins, because that's exactly how they've set him up. That literally could be what happens. Like he's like, no, this is fun. This is like the tournament of power, and then they let it happen.
Do we know if universes and multiverses work differently? Like, do they put them kind of in the same category? They don't, do they?
I think they're not in the same character.
Every
I think
universe is a multiverse.
a multiverse.
At least in the Universe 7. Universe 7, we know this. The Universe 7 is 3 universes in size, because Heaven is its own universe.
Yeah.
And I forgot what the
Hell.
other area.
But
No, I don't think it was Hell. It was
Hiffle.
Heaven
Remember
and
Hiffle?
somewhere else.
Hiffle. That I would say that also
The demon
wouldn't
realm in
count
there,
as
right?
necessarily a
Is it demon?
multiverse, just
I'm not
different
sure.
realms. Multiverse would be Universe 7 and then Universe 7 where Vegeta went to Earth, and then Universe 7
7.1,
where Raditz went Earth,
3,
and
4.
whereas like yeah, that's
Yeah.
multiverse, whereas universe
like,
is
I was
just different
thinking,
universes within
Because
the one
like
multiverse.
I was thinking, if they didn't really make that distinction between multiverses and universes, what they could do is that since Android 17 brought like all the universes that were destroyed again, maybe the multiverse that Zeno destroyed is back.
Or you could say the universes that were destroyed, they could be back. That could be another plot point. That could be
But
part
that's
of
if
it,
they
but-
make the distinction between the two.
Oh,
If they
yeah.
do, then
I
it
don't
can't
think
happen.
so. I think it was all the
Yeah. Because
bring universes that were taken
what was
out
his
in the
wording
tournament
again?
power.
I'm gonna rewatch
I think it
that.
was something
What
like
his
bring
wording?
everyone that competed back, or something.
I don't think
it
he
could-
said that. I think he said bring back all the universes that were destroyed.
Yeah, he
I
could
think
have
that's what he
said that.
said.
I can't remember though. It could be wrong. It could straight up be wrong.
True, but there is a chance that like,
17's wish.
it allows them to make their own distinction, but I'm pretty sure we all know what they meant. But if he didn't clarify, that is a storytelling opportunity.
Yeah.
Now we wait.
I still like the Universe War arc. Like, I was just getting hyped thinking about something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so he wished to restore all the universes that were erased. He never made the distinction of in the tournament.
Interesting.
He just said all the universes that were erased.
Interesting. So now it's up to the
Oh,
writers what he
and
meant.
the universes that Zeno destroyed before the tournament, they ally, and then they try to take on the other universes to destroy them and all that, because they feel, no one wanted to defend us or bring us back with balls or whatever.
Yeah, that's
And then that would be cool.
there could be a thing, and maybe
Like they do a
they
team up.
ally with in the Universe War. They ally with Universe 7 because Universe 7 wished them back.
Yeah, and then the guys that didn't fight in the tournament, they're the enemies.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah, they'd make
That'll be
logical.
sick.
They'd make logical sense as the enemies, because let's say the Black Freezer arc happened first, where he takes over like a universe, and then they get scared and such, and it's like one of the strong ones, and they decide with the defeat of Black Freezer, obviously that whole universe is too powerful. Let's delete them. And all those strongest ones who are afraid of losing whatever their power, some of them team up, some of them stay neutral and don't involve themselves, and some ally with Universe 7, like Universe 6, and then you can have like some of the other universes that were erased go, hey, they wished us back without even knowing about us, let's help them, or maybe you can have some of them that were destroyed for really
Wait,
good purposes
would Zeno-
that are evil as
would-
fuck, and they join like the other side, and like we don't care, we just want to cause chaos.
Would Zeno even really allow a multi-universal war to happen? I don't think he would. Maybe if when Black Frieza takes
No,
over the
literally
universe,
what I said.
he tricks him.
No, did
but,
you
like-
hear what I said?
You said something about like the multi-universal war. And I was
No,
like, would Zeno
before
use
I
that?
said I answered that question before, saying
Ah.
Zeno would likely look at it and go, "This is fun. This is like a tournament of power, except across all the universes," and then just watch it as entertainment because
don't-
he's bored.
I don't think so.
That fits perfectly within his character.
Maybe
to
if
react
someone
like that.
was maybe if someone was saying that to Zeno, maybe he would think that. But I don't think outright he would think that initially.
No, I think he would. I think if he was bored, he'd think it was fun.
I
Like,
think
a whole
he'd actually.
like all the universes going to war with each other.
He'd
I don't
probably
think so.
dislike it if people are doing it behind his back. 'Cause
Yeah.
the thing is, he's
Like,
not
that's
all
why I was thinking
steam.
like. That's what, yeah, because like that's what I was
Well,
thinking. Like
then-
maybe Black Frieza could be tricking him, saying like, "Oh, I'm
No,
gonna
no,
do,
no.
like, a
Black
little
Frieza
tournament
would be
and
defeated
some
by
shit."
this point. Black Frieza would be defeated or at this point with my idea. But if that's a thing where it's like behind his back is like a problem, then you could easily have like the higher echelon universes that don't trust Universe 7 influencing him, going, "Oh, we should do this," and pretend it's some sort of game when they're actually trying to kill or whatever. And maybe they could get in the GP's ear, and the GP can be like, "No, we actually don't mind some universes disappearing. We've got too many now."
I'll be honest. Whenever you
There
say
were-
GP, the only thing I think about is a family doctor.
I thought of
That's the-
Gangplank GP like.
YM That's a general practitioner, not a family.
Yeah, no.
No, but I don't know. I think it could be wild and fun.
The thing is, what about the Grand Priest? Is he just gonna obey all of
Well, that's why I was saying by the
Yeah.
GP, he has to obey, or maybe they can play into the way the fans like seeing him as this nefarious guy and go, maybe he decides he doesn't mind seeing a few universes disappearing because it will be easier to manage, so he just lets Zeno with his
Yeah.
decisions.
I think that like if I don't know if you guys are talking about this or if I misheard, but if people tried like whispering in Zeno's ear to trick him into doing shit, the
Yeah.
Grand Priest
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
allow that.
But like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a like a trick in the sense of a normal trick. They could literally say, "Oh, we're gonna do this thing,"
Yeah,
and
like they're
make it
just rolling-
seem like it's a fun thing,
Yeah, like they're
And
just
this-
rolling nat
and make-
20s on their charisma check.
and Zeno goes, "That's fun. I want to see more of that," and then that's it.
Back.
Yeah.
I mean, they could excuse it because I mean the GP was pretty happy to go along with the tournament of power. Of course, it had an ultimatum at the end, but I think it's interesting that if like the GP will be watching, and maybe at the end, like if Universe 7 wins and they actually like defeat the other universes, he'll go, "We're not gonna bring them back because we noticed they caused trouble and we would have stopped them if shit got wild."
Yo, and then instead of bringing them back, they create a one universe.
I mean
Where
that
everyone lives in one universe. Oh,
That
fuck.
actually-
easy to manage. Easy to manage.
that actually
Let's
could be cool if they like combined all the universes at the end and said, "Deal with it." And said, "We're running the show. Gods of Destructions aren't Gods of Destructions
Oh,
anymore."
and they'll bring back the Saiyan race on a planet called Vegeta.
Oh, shit, then the Saiyans will be in the one universe.
And then there'll be the Council of Vegetas that rule over Vegeta.
No, because there's not that many Vegetas. It's not a multiverse. We established
I
this.
know.
But
But that would be
imagine,
so funny if that was, bro.
are you
That would-
helping me find the caches or
Nothing would be done. There would be constant war.
no? No, I just imagine like those from Planet. What is it?
Yeah, like all the
Sidana.
leaders of the planet Vegetas all come together to rule planet Vegeta.
No multiverse stuff. And then
No, I don't mean like all Vegetas. Like all the rulers of what would the planet would be called Vegeta, the Saiyans.
there's only 2 Saiyan planets.
Rule of the Saiyans, I'll say.
There's only 2 Saiyan planets and one's destroyed.
In all of the universes?
Yeah, because they mirror, remember?
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
at
the whole
least
thing.
Universe 6 is their twin universe.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Universe 6 is the twin universe to Universe
Oh,
7.
okay.
That's why they mirror. That's why there's
okay.
Namekians and stuff. So
Okay.
they're
Wait, wasn't it? No,
they
there
could
was
be
Americans in a
unique.
different universe, wasn't there?
no, they were in Universe 6. Are you not
Were they?
playing any? Yeah. Are you not here anymore helping?
No.
Did you leave?
I'm gonna go get argon crystals. Why did you die?
No. I just thought I had someone else helping me find caches. I have to pay more
response.
attention now.
Yo, right now I'm reading Dragonball Kakume. I didn't even know the new chapter came out.
Yeah,
is that?
I just think yes.
It's the fan-made manga that I've
With-
been reading.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Were you saying
with
something?
with so much, there's so much potential, and like they could also, and this would be way, way, way down the line if they did something like this. But if they got through that and then they combined the universes or whatever, then if they really wanted to keep going and really delving deep into it, they could they could go down the path of multiverse stuff, where other multiverses start like the combining of unsettled stuff and multiverses started blending together
a
and creating
multiversal
chaos.
war.
And not necessarily a multiversal war, but maybe like like
No, not your
maybe
idea.
like,
I just thought of something.
intrusions and stuff like that, like multiversal intrusions that have to be fought, and like maybe there's like evil Vegetas and Gokus and
No,
and
you recently
stuff
watched Marvel. Shut the fuck up.
where it's
So basically,
where it's like, you know, they have to then fend off like themselves, but evil versions, or maybe good Freezers and stuff like that, where it's like Freezer joins in and they're like, it's Freezer, he's evil, and then he goes Saiyans, and or he's around and he starts fighting, and they fight because they think each other's evil. But then they eventually get to the point where like they realize that the Freezer's actually good.
oh, and there's only one evil Freezer, and it's their Freezer.
No, this Freezer's good, but he has to fight the legitimate evil Saiyans, and he's like, I'm Freezer, I'm here to help. Help me defeat the evil King Vegeta. with his top commander Kakarot. Like that shit would be wild.
No, it has to be Nappa, man. He has to be alive again.
No, Nappa could also be a top general, but it would be for the parallels. It would be like King Vegeta with
No.
with his top commander Kakarot. So you
No,
can
no,
have like
Kakarot
you
is
can
the
have
commanding
Vegeta.
general.
You can have Vegeta ruin Kakarot and Goku absolutely destroy Vegeta, but not, and both get the win, and not have to worry about losing to each other. That could be fun, but that would be well in the future after like universal harmony and shit's been sorted out. But there's so much potential in that sort of writing. Have you guys got any ideas of the future of Dragon Ball? If they're
Yes.
like clever.
3.
3. Go.
1. Akira Toriyama gets his fucking nose out of it. He made it. That's Pog. He made a cool story in Z. Get out of it, bro. I want to see what his name does. They should give another arc to the other homie. What's his name?
Who?
Bring Tails back. I want Tails back.
Turles?
Tails.
Who the fuck is
Saiyan Tails. Saiyan
Oh,
Tails.
Saiyan Tails,
Oh,
right.
Tails.
Bring him back. Bring back the Ozaru form, but make it like you know, Super Saiyan 4. Fuck you, bro. I want Super Saiyan 4, bro.
To be honest, Super Saiyan 4 is fucking legendary, but I don't know how it fits within the current society of Dragon Ball.
Like, if anyone should get it, it should be Broly.
Yeah, that's what
Nah.
I've always said. That I've always said
No.
Broly's the
They should add
closest.
Turles back and then Turles goes to Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, Turles was never real.
Turles wasn't real.
Nah, bring back Raditz.
No, I mean, there's bring back Raditz is like cool, but then
We want
I don't know.
Like,
yeah, we
Raditz
want
has been
Raditz, I
training in
agree.
hell this whole time,
I agree.
and
I
then,
wa-
and
we
then
want
he
Raditz.
he's become as strong as Ultra Instinct.
Fuck off. No.
No.
I
want-
with the way, Emre, with the way they do power scaling, it gets feasible.
To be honest,
No, it is definitely possible. That's just because Akira Toriyama won't stop smoking crack. That's why it's
honestly,
possible.
I just want Raditz to come back like I saw in a fan manga where he came back and like Goku was like, oh, I'm gonna see him, and then Raditz was like, finally, you've come. I can crush you now. Your brother has become a legend. And he goes on this whole like tirade about being a Super Saiyan.
I am
And-
the legendary Super Saiyan.
And then Goku's like, cool, we don't have to warm up then.
Wait, what?
And he goes Super Saiyan without blinking, whereas Raditz had to charge up, and then he's like, oh yeah, we can go straight to 2, and then he's like, what? And then Raditz is like, all of a sudden like, oh no. I
don't
really
care.
want it to be like that, where Raditz hypes himself so much, where everyone's
I
like,
don't care about
holy shit,
fighting
is
anymore.
Raditz gonna be wild? And then he goes Super Saiyan, and everyone's like, and just has to laugh.
Ever since Goku left, I just didn't care anymore.
You sound
Oh,
like
God.
Vegito at the end of
Yeah. Yeah.
the way he should have been. But they were like, no, but we're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this thing
We're
going.
gonna keep it going, guys. We've got to keep it going.
Have a
We
fight.
gotta milk this till it goes raw.
Till it goes raw.
What the fuck? You gotta milk it raw.
I don't care if it's bruised. Keep milking it.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
No, there's
James,
so...
repeat after me. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
When you fuck?
What the fuck, chili cheese?
Honestly,
What the
just
fuck?
I wish I could just like send a message to like the writers that be for Dragon Ball and just be like, guys, this is what you should do. People will love it.
And
Just
they listen to
assassinate
you.
Akira Toriyama.
And then they listen to you, and then they make the best series in human history.
Yes, exactly.
The best
look,
show
add
in
s-
cinema
add s-
history.
Add spaceships that like can fire Gogeta beams. That harnesses the power of ki as their fucking main weapon.
Oh, what happens
And
is
they're
have to
called the
plug in a
motion wave
person,
cannon.
The
and the
motion.
people are
Yes.
called conduits.
Honestly, are gonna be the fucking coolest crossover all time if they created a character that looked like Susumu Kaidai, and he fired
did, though.
and he fired a ki blast that fired like a wave motion gun.
They already did that.
And it was just like it was just a crossover where it was it was just looked
James.
like it.
James, they've already done that.
No.
Yeah. It was when they were going to Planet Namek. They went on that spaceship with the people.
No.
And like
Bitch.
they all.
Bitch, he said crossover. Shut up. Shut up, bitch.
Remember-
Yeah.
Oh my God! They're invulnerable to bullets. Everyone, take your cyanide pills. Wait, what?